The main purpose of government is security and welfare of its citizens. It's there in our constitution. We cannot change it. So everything should be focused on security. Because, Mr. President, this is an occasion where the Senate must be responsible. We should stand up to the occasion and demand. And let's be blunt about it. Let's ask the government to do the right thing. And I'm sure that if we tell the president what to do, he will do it. He will do it. So let us stand up and say that we are just approving a borrowing about 2.2 billion to fund the budget. What budget if we are not secured? More seriously, because this is the first time Nigeria is being included in countries that are likely to face very, very serious food crisis. There in the north, or here in the north, we have started seeing it visibly. People are hungry, very, very hungry. Many cannot go to their farms. All of us know this. In the north central, the northeast, and the northwest. Even in southeast, we still have crisis among the farmers and herdsmen. Even in southwest, we still have this crisis. As it is now, a bag of rice is selling at about 100,000. A bag of maize, the same thing. Even prices of tomatoes, onions, and other basic food is high. Distinguished colleagues, as representatives of the people, we need to do something, or at least say something. That's why I co-sponsored this motion, and I believe all of us here are concerned because we are talking to one another. Let's do something.
I know we all don't like the Nigerian Senate because of the way and manner they are allowing President Bola Tinubu to go about with his borrowing spree. The way and manner they are allowing incompetence to continue. I mean, they themselves, they are very, very incompetent. But we must give kudos to Senator Ali Ndume, the senator representing Borno South on the floor of the National Assembly, for being one of the voice of the common man on the floor of the Senate. This is the same man that came out to criticize the president, who is a member of his ruling party, and he was suspended because of that. But yet, he has not relented in lending his voice to the bad administration of Bola Tinubu. Most of the senators you voted are on the floor of the National Assembly. They are not saying anything. They are keeping quiet. They are not even speaking against the borrowing. Nigeria is sinking in debt. But yet, Senator Ali Ndume is risking everything up to be speaking against the bad government in this country. I don't even care about the Nigerian Senate. They are the worst thing that have happened to this country. Those guys are clueless. They are incompetent. If I have my way, the Nigerian Senate should be scrapped. But at least, thank God that somebody is speaking up. We need to be speaking up because Bola Tinubu is destroying Nigeria in our very own eyes. Nigeria is standing at a critical crossroad. Nigeria is facing immense economic challenges that demand thoughtful and strategic leadership. But the government of Bola Tinubu is not even paying heed to all of this. President Bola Tinubu has gone on a borrowing spree without any accountability. The House of Representatives and the Senate has approved a 1.767 trillion naira, that is $2.2 billion loan request under the 2024 Appropriation Act. Nigerian debt profile has escalated to an alarming levels. It has made Nigeria to become the third most indebted country to the International Development Association, IDA. The reason they keep giving for borrowing this money is economic revival, but yet Nigeria economy is not coming out from the woods anytime soon. All the money that has been borrowed, there is no accountability so far for it. What Nigerians should be asking is, what are these funds being used for? Are they effectively addressing the country pressing issue of poverty, insecurity, and underdevelopment? But nobody's asking any question. This is what Ali Ndume is asking on the floor of the National Assembly. What exactly are they doing with all the money they are borrowing? Nigeria is still insecure. We are still living in poverty. People are hungry. The economy is in shambles. Nigerians are still hungry and unsafe in their own land. The realities of the current average Nigerian shows that all the money that have been borrowed, they are yet to be translated into tangible benefit for the majority of the citizens. But instead, Nigerians are facing skyrocketing inflation, widespread unemployment, and deteriorating public infrastructure. When Bola Tinubu took over office, he made a promise of economic reform and steer Nigeria towards economic prosperity. He told Nigerians that he's going to take hard decisions that will affect them, but there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel. Bola Tinubu has gone ahead to remove fuel subsidy, increase interest rates, increase taxes, increase import duties. Bola Tinubu has removed everything that Nigerians were enjoying in the past, but everything that the government has been enjoying in the past, he has tripled them. Tinubu and his co-politicians are living in luxury, while Nigerians are living in penury. All Nigerians have experienced so far is economic mismanagement from Bola Tinubu's administration. Tinubu's government approach to borrowing appears reactive rather than proactive. It has focused more on plunging debt deficit than investing in sustainable development projects. The worst of it in this Bola Tinubu administration is the lack of transparency. Let us look at this new loan that has been approved by the Senate for Bola Tinubu. The Senate is saying that they are pegging this new loan to 800 naira per dollar, whereas Nigerian current interest rate is standing at 1,700 and above per dollar. Saying that they are pegging the loan to 800 naira per dollar is outdated and unrealistic. There is no how they are going to repay this loan back with 800 naira per dollar. It's not possible. There is no economic feasibility of this Bola Tinubu administration that shows that the naira will definitely fall back to 800 naira per dollar. Despite not being accountable to Nigerians, the government of Bola Tinubu has continuously been lying to Nigerians. The reality is, when the time comes for Nigeria to pay back this loan, they will be paying over 2.4 trillion naira, not the 1.7 trillion naira that they borrowed. This is how they keep lying. They told us that inflation is at 33%. We all know that we are experiencing inflation at over 200%. The most unfortunate aspect of it is that many Nigerians do not even understand the impact of Bola Tinubu's bad administration in their life. The same Nigerians that are bearing the brunt of Bola Tinubu's bad administration are the same people defending and supporting him on social media. Nigerian rising debt is yet to be translated into improved social welfare, job creation, or enhanced security, but rather Nigerian citizens are facing increasing hardship. Food prices have skyrocketed, basic healthcare remains inaccessible for many, and the education sector continues to suffer from underfunding. Senator Ali Ndume talks about insecurity. This is another glaring failure. Despite significant borrowing purported for national development, Nigeria remains plagued by violence and instability, from Boko Haram menace in the northeast, banditry in the northeast and the northwest, unknown gunmen in the southeast, insecurity, kidnapping in the southwest, militancy in the south-south. Every part of this country is besieged with insecurity. Nigerian government is here to restore peace and security in this country. Many communities are vulnerable to criminal elements and many people have been displaced from their ancestral home. The primary responsibility of every responsible government is to protect the life and property of every citizen in this country. But that is what the government has failed woefully. They have failed to protect the same constitution they swore on. In as much as we may want to blame Bola Tinubu for all of this, majority of this blame should go to the Senate. They were charged with the responsibility of running checks and balance on the executive. They should be asking thorough questions to the federal government rather than approving more loans to the federal government. They should be asking a very critical question. Where exactly is all the money going to? What are the projects that have been done with recent borrowing? It is their duty to run check and balance on the executive. Now, this is the same government that is coming to criticize Olusegun Obasanjo because he criticized the last election and was asking for the sack of the INEC chairman. Let me remind you all, under President Olusegun Obasanjo administration, Nigeria was free from the burden of external debt. Olusegun Obasanjo cleared all our external debt. Under President Olusegun Obasanjo, Nigeria successfully negotiated debt relief, freeing up resources for development. This victory Nigeria enjoyed under Olusegun Obasanjo seems like a distant memory as Nigeria finds itself ensnared once again in the web of debt. Borrowing is not bad. Many countries also borrowed, but they use it to finance critical infrastructure and spur their economic growth. The reason why Nigeria is where we are today, despite the huge debt hanging on our neck, is because the money that we have been borrowing had not been used into key critical infrastructure. They've gone into private pockets. This money have been looted and relooted by the government that borrowed them. Since the Senate have failed to do the right thing, since they failed to run checks and balance on the executive, the onus now lies on the citizens to ensure that they hold their government accountable, to ensure that their government account for every single penny they've borrowed, every single project they've carried out. This Nigerian citizens must do. If not, you all will suffer the consequences of your lackluster attitude against your government. You will all suffer the consequences of voting in bad government and not holding them accountable. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.